Have you ever pondered the transformative power of travel? It has the capacity to transport not just our bodies, but also our minds and spirits from the mundane to the extraordinary. Today, we venture into the heart of France to a place renowned for its spiritual allure. Today, we are just traveling through Lourdes, France.
Lourdes is a small market town lying in the foothills of the Pyrenees and is home to fewer than 20,000 residents, but attracts millions of visitors each year. The spiritual magnet of Lourdes is the sanctuary of Our Lady of Lourdes, a Catholic Marian shrine and a beacon of faith and hope for millions around the globe seeking miracles of healing and connection with a higher power.
The story of Lourdes begins with Saint Bernadette. Saint Bernadette of Lourdes claimed to have seen a series of visions of the Virgin Mary in the Grotto between February and July of 1858 at the age of 14. She had been a sickly child. She contracted cholera in 1854 and suffered from asthma and other ailments.
On the day of the ninth apparition, the Virgin Mary told Bernadette to drink and wash in the spring, which no one had discovered was there until that point. She also told Bernadette that a chapel should be built there. Bernadette steadfastly defended her visions despite strong opposition and faithfully transmitted Mary's messages until she died at the age of 35.
So where is Lourdes, France? It sits in the foothills of the Pyrenees Mountains, midway between Biarritz and Toulouse.
As you can see on this map, we had been in the city of Biarritz, and we were on our way back to Toulouse to the airport to fly back to England. So instead of just rushing to Toulouse, we decided that we would adventure our way through Lourdes and Pau areas of France.
You can get to Lourdes easily by car. There's not a lot of traffic. It was a very easy drive. You can also take a train directly from Paris or from Toulouse, and the train comes right into town. It's very close to everything, as you can see on the map, and it's close to the church and the hotels and everything. So that's a great way to get there if you don't take a bus. If you do, you could take a bus tour, and then obviously they would get you there from the airport.
There's quite a few lodging establishments in the general area. Most are within walking distance, some with parking, some without.
If you are sick or disabled, there is special lodging in town called the Accueil Notre Dame. The mission of the staff and the volunteers is to be sure that fragile pilgrims will not be disappointed when they visit. So if you are sick or disabled, this is something you should check out online. More than 7,000 miraculous recoveries have been reported and attributed to the intercession of Our Lady of Lourdes. However, the Church officially only recognizes 70 miracles. These miracles are related to the healing of various ailments and conditions reported by pilgrims who visited the sites. The process of recognizing miracles in the Catholic Church is an arduous one and involves thorough investigation.
The most recent miracle was declared on February 11th, 2018, and involved a nun named Sister Bernadette Morial, who had been suffering from spinal complications, which had left her wheelchair-bound since 1980. She visited the shrine in 2008 and felt a surge of well-being and was later directed by a voice in her room to take off her braces and walk again.
In 2022, Bernadette went on 60 Minutes to discuss her miracle.
Yeah, this was a fascinating episode. It was televised on July 23rd, 2023, and it's a really interesting, in-depth look at what she had to go through and how long it took before it was claimed to be a miracle. The organization that first reviews any case is named the International Medical Committee of Lourdes, and it's a panel of doctors who thoroughly reviews each case to determine if it is real, if the case has a complete medical history, and the cure is not possible via medicine or rehab. As an example, the most recent miracle, Sister Bernadette, was reviewed for over 8 years before it was accepted. Once the medical organization has concluded that the case is real and not medically possible for a cure, it is then passed on to the Catholic Church.
The official list can be found on the website listed on the screen. There are 3 basilicas: the Basilica of the Immaculate Conception, the Basilica of the Rosary, and the Basilica of St. Pius X. And you can see where they're located on the map. There are also a couple of museums, the Museum of Miracles of Lourdes and the Museum of St. Bernadette. As you can see, everything is located pretty much in the same area. And directly behind the sanctuary of Our Lady of Lourdes, you'll find the grotto and the pools, or the piscines. The Basilica of the Immaculate Conception stands above the grotto and is the oldest of the three at the sanctuary of Our Lady of Lourdes. This basilica was consecrated in 1876 and contains a series of stained glass windows relating to the events in Lourdes.
The Basilica of the Rosary is essentially the pedestal of the Basilica of the Immaculate Conception. This is a monument of very great interest because of the Venetian mosaic decorations, and it is decorated with 39 paintings depicting various saints and blessed people.
The third basilica is the Basilica of St. Pius X, and it is an underground basilica with room for 25,000 people. It holds a Eucharist procession every day.
The grotto is where the apparitions occurred, and the spring is inside it. There are taps near the grotto where you can drink the water from the spring that are supplied for free with easy access. Those who wish to can also go to the sanctuary baths and perform the water gestures.
When we walked up, there was people with containers and water bottles all going up
Jugs,
to the taps,
yeah.
drinking out of it, washing from it, and it's freely available to anyone. People are drawn to the grotto not just for the historic significance, but for the sense of peace and tranquility that permeates the air. There's so much hope in the air. There's so many people that are disabled or have various ailments that are going there seeking their own miracle.
Yeah, there's a constant vibe of expectation as you walk around.
They hold a daily mass and rosary ceremonies. The website contains a wealth of information. Anyone who wants to go should look at the website to get more information about the kinds of things that they want to see. They also have live cams.
The torchlight procession has existed at the sanctuary since 1872. It takes place daily at 9 p.m. from April until the end of October.
So there's not only the church to see when you go there, there's also a fortress on the hill.
It's very popular in France to build these on the hills, and you'll see them everywhere. This particular fortress is located on the top of a hill overlooking the town of Lourdes. It is an historic military structure with origins dating back to the 11th century. Once a strategic defensive point, the fortress offers panoramic views of the surrounding landscape and provides visitors with a wonderful view of the town. It is also a museum and botanical garden. Tickets are available at the door.
The town is right there next to the church. It's very touristy. There's trinket shops and there's a lot of religious items for sale there. There's t-shirts and, your little
Candles
statues of Mary and crosses and all that kind of stuff.
And you name it, and you're going to find it there somewhere.
I have to say, you don't have to be Catholic to appreciate Lourdes. The number of people we saw from different places all over the world was just incredible.
It's so international, yeah.
Italian and Spanish and Portuguese.
We saw people from Africa and African traditional garb taking their loved ones who needed, to make the trip in hopes of a cure.
There was Irish and English accents, people from everywhere.
All over the world. It's just amazing. And the more we walked around each day as the day unraveled, more buses and more trains arrived with more people hopeful of a cure.
It made an impact, I think.
Oh yeah, it's something that everybody should see once in their life. It's amazing.
That's all we have for you on Lourdes France. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe and like and check out our store.